Hello and welcome to another painting video. Today we are going to be painting the Royal Warden. This is going to serve as our paint kind of guide for how we're doing him plus the Immortals, because they're pretty much the same model. Don't tell him that though, I don't know. He might get mad. So we're going to start off with our dry brush of our base skin color, which is this gunmetal. So we're going to put some down here. And then we're going to wipe most of it off. Not most of it, just a good chunk of it. Because this is a heavy dry brush, like I've said before. Like, we're not really, we're going in for it. We're not going light, because this is their skin color. This is their main color. So you want it on, you want it nice, and just gonna try to get, the reason we're wiping it off is because we want to get not a ton going into those little cracks and crevices on the model, just because we want to preserve those as much as possible, just to keep the detail in there and keep our guy looking cool. Get the arms, get the spine. We're gonna have to get in here a little bit. This is going to be a little rough in there just because of how this little cape is. So just kind of go around the model, finding all those areas that we want to cover and get them. Especially like these hands and stuff, we want to get those. Get a little bit more on here just to get the spine a little bit brighter in there. Okay, so that's our first round. Let's just get there. Let's kind of get that. All right, now we're going to switch to the silver color for another dry brush over the top of this guy, just to bring out a little bit more color. This one's a lot lighter of a dry brush than the one before it, so we only need a little bit here. So this is our silver paint from Vallejo, and then we just kind of lightly go over the tops and of the model here, just to get that extra shine that our Royal Warden deserves. Okay. Now we're gonna go switch over to a gray dry brush with this medium sea gray from Vallejo. And this is for the weapon and the shoulder pads. So let's get this nice and pretty dry. And a lot of people would probably do this first, just because metallics and stuff and the paint and how it sticks, it can be a little crazy. Like, you can still see some metallic flakes in here, but you know, we're not trying to win competitions or do anything like that, so it might be a little overkill for us. Way more gray paint than I put down. So just Give this a super heavy dry brush. Same thing for these little pointy up pieces here. It's the technical term for them. It's pointy up pieces. It's also going to get the face. And it's just the front faceplate, the back faceplate we leave with the black. Okay, and then also this cape thingy that he's got going on. To get this, you got to be careful though, because it is thin, so we don't want to be hitting it too hard because it might snap some pieces off of it, and we don't want that. Okay, now we get our white paint for the second half of the dry brush there, and this is kind of like a slap choppy dry brush that we're doing here, just to get those other areas to pop when we put contrast paint over them. So we do the face. Just to get that nice and bright in the front areas. Get our shoulder pads here. And our cape. Don't have to go too much under there because it's you'll see I have a glove on, and I mentioned in the last video, if you watched it, that if you're going to be touching your model a lot, it's kind of smart to just have a glove on, just so you don't mess up any of the paint that you've done. So we use Blood Angels Red for the shoulders. Yeah, we just don't want to mess up any of the stuff that we've done, so we want to be able to touch the model and not peel off any paint. So let's get in here to get our shoulder pads and these little Eldar looking pieces or Tyranid looking pieces. And you can use like a lighter touch with this contrast paint because you do want all that dry brushing that's underneath to show through. So just try to keep it kind of thin and in some areas so that it's more pronounced what everything you did looks like. Because we don't want to do work that you don't see, because that sucks. So there's that. Now we can get this guy. And see, it's good like you start up top and just bring it down with our brush, because we have more paint in our brush at the beginning and less at the end. So as we bring it down, it's kind of fading naturally as well. And we can go kind of heavy in the back here because it is the back. You don't see it. It's mostly in shadow. So just put the paint in there. Here we go. Now we go back to our gunmetal color that we were dry brushing with to get some parts on the gun. Because our gun has like a bayonet and all this stuff, so we want to just get all of this. All of these painted, the ends, little stabby bits. Turn it around. Do the same thing on this side. Okay, and then we can clean up like some of the red that we got on the spine there. So, and then we also need to get probably a smaller brush and get this little accelerator guy in here as well. We'll turn it around and get what we can over there, just grabbing that, poking it out. Okay, now we're going to go to our bronze, our brassy brass color. And we got a couple things to get. The first being this little corrugated tube. And then some of these hoses in here in his chest, as well as the symbol on his chest and the little symbols on his shoulders as well. So we're just gonna kind of lightly go around this. And do the same here. We're also like, lining the borders of it as well. Oh, well, we got a lot in there. That's fine. And then we'll do just our kind of a little bit over the spine here, because our leaders all have that golden spine that shows my leadership here. And then we want some of our Escorpina green here. I'm going to put some of that down. We're going to be getting a couple areas. We're going to get this tube here. We just want to get all the areas of it here. Okay, and then one of the tubes on the back here, this big one, we're going to get as well. And that's just adding, like I said before, like more visual interest. Just breaking up a bunch of black wires to not look just like a bunch of black wires. We're definitely not going to be able to get the other side of that as well either, so we'll get what we can here. But again, not important because it's not part of the model there that we can see. So now we're going to get our white. And just do a couple dots on like the gun here. Ooh, I don't know what that was. Just on these little orbies. so that when we spray it, they pop a lot more. That was a bad poke right there, but it is what it is. There, and now we get the chest as well. Inside those rib cage. Pardon me, well, if you can't see this that well right now. I'm just getting in that rib cage. Okay, now we can get our scarlet paint and do our edges for our reds, as well as dot our eyes. So let's just kind of working around here, trying to get the edges as best I can without messing up too much. That's why I have it kind of stable on the table, so I'm not holding it with my shaky hands. So just kind of dragging the paint down rather thickly on my brush. And just adding all those edges in here. Getting the top here. Getting some of that. And that's like a good kind of coverage of that for us. Now, for here, I kind of want to pick out some of these. Probably like just the bottoms of them. And just adding a little extra color to them in just random spots. Like that. Now we're going to take our wash, which is Agrax Earthshade. If I can find it, give it a good shake. And we're just going to go over the metallics of our model here to give us that undead, risen from the grave type of feel. So just get that all over there. It's also going to help bring out all the detail and nooks and crannies on some of this too, because of the colors that we are working with are so light and shiny, and it may be hard to see some of them. So this is going to knock that down a bit, help dull it out, and give us what we want. So just go in there, the arm. Kind of avoiding the chest because we are going to be spraying it with stuff anyway, with airbrush anyway. Oh, we gotta get the other side of the gun. I forgot about that. Just put this all down. Okay. And of course he fell over. But we need to actually get, let's grab this. Let's grab in here as well, just to pop all those symbols out more. And really quick before we forget, we're gonna get his eyes with the red really quick. As best we can, because it's very tiny. And for me, it's okay if they hit other parts. Okay. And then we'll take our white also, and then just do like quick highlight of the kind of eye area, the cheekbones and all that, like just to, again, bring focus upwards towards the face of the model. So there we have it. And then all we gotta do is take our airbrush with our Escorpina green from earlier and give it a go on the gun here. We want to add a nice greeny glow to it, as well as our ribs here. Want that green glow in there, like that. Getting our green out, like that. And there we have it. That's how we paint our Royal Warden for our Necron Army. As always, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on the next one.